Hello everyone. Welcome you all to Ashok Tutorials Meghalaya's first embedded channel. My friends, in this video we are going to discuss paper 1 environmental studies, and this is the first video on environmental studies. You know that environment is very important for us, right? Because we live in an environment and we coexist with plants and animals, right? And there are different events which happens in the environment. There are biosphere reserves, national parks, jungles, forests, rivers, mountains, plateaus, seas, oceans, rivers, streams, right? Plants, animals. So there are lots of things in the environment. So that's why this environment becomes very important for us to be studied. All right, so that's why we have today the topic. The very first topic today we are going to discuss is nature, scope and importance of EVS in elementary level. So today we will be studying unit 1, and unit 1 is all about the nature. What is the nature of the environment, what is the scope of the environment, and what is the importance of the environmental studies. So what is the nature, scope and importance of environmental studies, that we will discuss in this video. So let us start. So the very first thing you see here is that environmental studies, the short form is EVS. So in short we call it as EVS, right? We don't call it as environmental science or environmental studies, we say it as EVS. So environmental studies at the elementary level is a multidisciplinary subject that focuses on raising awareness and understanding of the environment, its conservation and sustainable practices. Now you see, environmental studies is called multidisciplinary. Now why it is called multidisciplinary? It is known as multidisciplinary because it is related with everything. It is related with all the different domains, all the different field in the environment. It is related to different subject in the environment, right? It is related to human beings, plants, animals, microorganisms. Why? Because everything exists in the environment, right? So in this video we are going to raise awareness on what is environment, then how can we conserve environment, what are the natural resources, what are the man-made resources, what are the ways by which we can conserve the environment, how can we protect the environment from the pollution, from the waste, from the natural and man-made disasters, how can we protect the environment from the natural disaster, man-made disaster, right? The climate change, the pollution, the earthquakes, tsunamis, cyclone, tornadoes. So how are we going to protect that? How can we conserve that? Or the main point here to note is that how are we going to protect the environment from us? We human beings, we are the ones actually who are exploiting the environment. Yes or no? You believe it or not? We are the one responsible for deforestation. We are the one responsible for polluting the rivers, polluting the oceans, polluting the seas. Then we are the one responsible for cutting down the plant for different purpose. We are responsible for urbanization, we are responsible for factories, industries, and all the things, all the evils actually which is going on in the environment. It is because of us, we human beings. It is not because of animals, or it is not because of microorganisms, or because of plants. It is all because of you and me, right? So sustainable practices, what do you understand by sustainable practices? Sustainable practices means meeting the needs of the present without compromising for the future. Now you see, India is number 1 in the world in terms of population. 140 crores people live in India, right? But the space means not that space means the the this one, geographical locations. Of course it is not so big to accommodate all the people, right? 140 crore people living in a small area of land in India is not a joke. So we have more and more demand. When the population is high, we have more demand for a job, for education, for healthcare facilities, medical facilities, right? So everything, for food, for clothing, for everything, the demand is high when the population is more. And of course, you know that our country, India, you know, is so kind to other countries that people love to come to India and stay in India, running and coming back, coming from other countries, right? Not back, actually coming from other countries and residing in India. The best example is Bangladeshis. You see Bangladeshis coming every time to India, entering India illegally, right? And many a times they get caught and they are, sent back to Bangladesh, but they keep on coming. So, you know because of these people and because of us also, right, the sources or the resources are becoming limited because of population. The everything is limited, the job is limited. Now you have to fight for the LP vacancies, UP vacancies. Why? Because there are so many people who are already qualified. If the vacancy is 50, there will be 1000 candidates, 500 candidates for that 50 post. Yes or no? Right. So competition is there. Why? Because of overpopulation. And when there is overpopulation, there is a loss for everything. We just spoil the environment like anything. All right. Now, here's an explanation of the nature, scope, and importance of EVS at this level. First of all, let us see nature of EVS, holistic approach. EVS provide a holistic approach to education by integrating various disciplines like science, social studies, and geography to address environmental issues. Now, what does it mean? It means that EVS provides a holistic approach, which means all-round approach to what? To the education, and it integrate, which means we can mix up other disciplines like in environmental science or in science and technology you find environment, right? In social studies also you find environmental studies, in geography also you find environmental studies, in physics also you find environment, in chemistry also you find environment, in biology also you find environment, right? So environment, the topic on environment is everywhere whatever you study. That's why it is said that we can integrate and we can study, right? We can integrate that different discipline. We can, once your environmental studies are clear, which means it becomes very easy for you to understand the science also, then chemistry also, botany also, then geography, history, everything becomes a cakewalk for you, right? When you understand environmental studies in detail. So practical learning, it emphasizes hands-on learning, field trips, and real-world experiences, making learning engaging and practical. Now, the one of the nature of environmental studies is that it believes on hands-on activities, which means when we are learning about environmental studies, then or when we are doing environmental studies, what do? We do practicals, we do experiments, we do field trips, we visit the zoo or the national parks or the biosphere reserves, right? And we experience the real world. We visit the peaks, Shillong Peak, Tura Peak, Botanical Garden, Zoological Garden. Whenever you're visiting these places, means you're learning something about the environment. Yes or no? Right. So it is actual learning. Environment can be learned through our real life experiences. Interdisciplinary. EVS connects diverse aspects of environment, including natural, social, and cultural elements, fostering a well-rounded understanding. Now you see, interdisciplinary means it is connected with everything. Interdisciplinary means environmental studies are connected with the nature, of course, all the plants, animals, human beings. Then social, it is connected with the society in which we are living, right? We are social beings, human beings are social beings, and no man can live as an island. So that's why we know that we are social beings, and in the society we have environment, right? Or in the environment we have our society. So how do we live in a society? So that what are the rules, what are the norms, what are the regulations of the society by which we should live, and what are the cultural practices of the human beings in the society? So those things can also be interrelated with the environmental studies. All right. Now, local and global perspective, it helps students appreciate both local and global environmental issues, encouraging responsible global citizenship. Now you see, local and global. So whenever we are doing environmental studies, what happens is that it helps the student to understand the not only his or her own country, or not only his or her village or city or town, but the entire world as well, right? So whenever we are dealing with environment, we deal with the whole world, right? America, Russia, China, Japan, India, everything we deal with. When we talk about climate change, when we talk about global warming, when we talk about tsunami, when we talk about earthquake, right? So we talk in terms of the whole world, right? Now, what is the scope of EVS? Let us see. Understanding ecosystem. EVS introduces students to the concept of ecosystem, biodiversity, and interdependence of living organisms and the environment. Now you see, understanding ecosystems, you know that ecosystem can be broadly divided into two types, that is biotic and abiotic. Now, what is the meaning of the word biotic? See, by the word bio, you should understand that bio means something living, right? So in an ecosystem, you find biotic and abiotic elements. So biotic can include the human beings, because human beings are living, the animals, because animals are living, the plants, because plants are living, and the microorganisms, because the microorganisms also are living. So these are the biotic component of the ecosystem. But when we talk about a biotic component, it includes the sun, the rivers, the streams, the mountains, the valleys, right? So all these comes under the abiotic factor of the ecosystem, right? So we also study about the diversity. We know biodiversity. We know that there are different species of animals, different species of plants, different species of microorganisms, right? They belong to different uh, genres. They belong to different genres, and they belong to different families, right? So it is diverse, very big. Now, environmental issues, it covers various environmental issues such as pollution, deforestation, water conservation, water management. Now you see, the scope of EVS is that it covers a wide range of environmental issues. Now see, we have a lot of environmental issues or problems in our society, right? Pollution is one of the main issue of our environment. We know air pollution, we know water pollution, we know soil pollution, we know noise pollution, we know radioactive pollution, right? So all these pollutions we have to combat, we have to mitigate, we have to reduce, we have to fight. So how can we fight with this type of pollutions? Water pollution, how does water pollution happen? When we throw dead bodies into the water bodies, when we throw, or when we apply pesticides in the agricultural field, then due to rain it gets washes away. When we throw the plastics, when we throw the non-biodegradable waste into the water bodies, that causes water pollution, yes or no? And then when we talk about air pollution, what causes air pollution? So when we are making use of vehicles, right? When we are making use of petrol, diesel, and when we are burning the fossil fuels in the factories, industries, for the welfare of the urbanization, so what do? We are polluting the environment. Now you will see smog in many cities. Even in Guwahati, you will not see a clear sky. You don't see blue sky in Guwahati, in Mumbai and all. Why? But in Meghalaya, luckily, we are still able to see the blue sky. But why? Because there is so much of smoke and there is so much of fog. So plus smoke plus fog together is known as smog. So smoke, SMOKE, is smoke, right? Walku. Plus fog, FOG, fog. So when we plus smoke plus fog, it is known as smog, SMOG. So in Guwahati and big cities, you will see a lot of smoke in the sky. It is always dusky, it is always dark. That's why you don't see the blue sky in Guwahati and many other cities of our country, right? That is due to air pollution or deforestation. What is deforestation? Deforestation means cutting down of the forested land, the jungles, the trees, the plants. So we can cut down the forest, the jungles for different reasons. We can cut it down for urbanization, for building of bridges, for building of roads, for construction of houses, for agricultural practices, right? So there can be different reasons why do we do deforestation. So now you know that plant and animals are interdependent, right? Interdependent. We human beings, we need oxygen, and plants, they need carbon dioxide. So when we release carbon dioxide, when we exhale, it is taken up by the plants. In return, the plants, they intake the carbon dioxide and they release the oxygen, which is taken by us. So we are mutually dependent on one another. So that's why now when you are cutting down the trees, when you are encouraging deforestation, what happens? There will be no rain, there will be no harvest. The plants, animals, they will die, right? Because of deforestation, the climate will change, global warming will take place, the temperature of the earth will keep on rising, the global warming will take place. Why? Because the greenhouse gases are not able to escape and there is depletion of ozone layer. So ozone layer can be depleted with because of the use of CFCs or because of the use of jets. You know, we are using those things. That's why what happens, the ozone layer is breaking and directly the UV radiations are reaching the earth, which can result in skin cancers, right, or different type of diseases. So that's why, my dear friends, let's protect our environment because everything is interrelated, right? Just like in a family, if somebody is happy, everybody is happy. If somebody is sad, everyone is sad, right? So likewise in the environment, if you kill an animal, means you have destroyed the whole family. If you kill a tree, means you have destroyed the entire ecosystem, you have disturbed the entire ecosystem. All right, so be very very careful when you are dealing with environment, and please try to, you know, try to use the recycled product. Don't try to use plastics unnecessarily. I see many people, they are throwing plastics after they are eating chips, right? They eat the chips, chocolates and all. They are traveling by bus or sumo or Vinga and whatever, and they don't even look. They just, you know, put their hands out of the window and they just throw the chips wrappers and all. What do you think, who will come and collect these waste which you are throwing out of the window of the vehicle? Nobody will come, right? It will just keep on lying here and there. Later on, it will cause land pollution, and if somebody is burning, it will cause air pollution, right? So you know, everything is interrelated. So my dear friends, we have to be very very cautious, right, when we are dealing with environment. I hope you're understanding that, right? Now, conservation, water conservation. So how can we conserve water? We can conserve water in the form of dams, right? In the form, we can construct big big dams and we can protect that water. And you know, as human beings, as small individuals, as human beings, we can do little effort, we can take little effort and protect or help in water conservation. But how? When you are brushing your teeth, don't let the tap keep on running. When you are washing clothes, don't let the tap running. Don't waste water unnecessarily, right? Then waste management. Now you see, there are basically two types of waste. One is biodegradable waste, another one is non-biodegradable waste. Now biodegradable waste means, bio means what? Again, life, right? So biodegradable waste are the waste which can be decomposed. Decomposed means by microorganisms. Suppose if you throw an apple in the dustbin or maybe in the garbage dump, then that apple will disappear slowly. It will get rotten and then it will disappear slowly. Suppose if you throw a mango or banana, it will disappear. Maybe in 1 week it will get rotten, then again slowly it will disappear. Why? Because the microorganisms, they are eating it. Why? Because it is biodegradable. Biodegradable means it can be eaten up by the microorganisms. But when we say non-biodegradable, suppose if you throw a tire, rubber tire, or if you throw a bag of plastic or a plastic ball, then do you think that is going to vanish? Do you think microorganisms can eat that plastic or rubber? No, they cannot eat. That's why these things are known as non-biodegradable. So biodegradable means those which can be decomposed by microorganisms, can be eaten up by microorganisms, and Non biodegradable means plastics which cannot be eaten up by the microorganisms, right? So you have to be very careful. Cultural and social aspects. EVS explores the cultural and social dimensions of the environment, highlighting the relationship between human societies and the ecosystem. Now you see the culture, the traditions, the dances, the festivals, whatever we have in our society. And where do our society exist? Our society exists in the environment in which we are living, right? And you know that Earth is the only planet where life exists. So if we are destroying, we are trying our best to destroy the nature, climate change, you can already see that, right? Because of this, because of global warming, what is happening now, the climate is changing. You will see that the ice from the North Pole and the South Pole are melting and the sea level is rising. So maybe, unfortunately, in the near future, all the world will subside or submerged inside the ocean. Everything will be underwater one day if we are not protecting our environment today. But I have got lots to say, but this is a small topic, so I will not talk so much, all right? So, all right, now sustainable practices. It educates students about sustainable practices like recycling, renewable energy, and conservation. So now you see, my dear friends, before we used diesel vehicles, then petrol vehicles, but now in the present scenario, you will see we are using electric vehicles, we are using battery vehicles, right? We are using solar vehicles. Why? Because these energies are renewable. Renewable means what? Which can be renewed. It will never get over. Do you think sun will disappear one day? No, sun will not disappear. So we will get the solar energy every day. So that's why you will see these days the scooty, the cars, the buses, everything is electric, which means it is running by the battery. It do not cause any type of pollution. Green buses, you will see even in Guwahati, you will find green bus. Why do we call it green bus, or why the bus is colored in green? Because it is using renewable energy, which means the energy will never get over, and it is not causing any pollution to the environment, right? It is not causing any type of air pollution to the environment. So we are encouraged to use renewable energy, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, hydro energy. These energies we should make use of, right? Not fossil fuels, because fossil fuels takes millions of years to be formed. The petrol, the diesel, once it's over, it is over forever, and it will take million of years to be, you know to be formed again, so that we can make use of it, right? Recycling, always believe in recycled products. Don't you make use of plastics. Avoid the use of plastics as much as possible, right? And conservation, always try to conserve. If you don't need much, don't take much. If you need little, just take little of it, all right? Don't just waste any resource, be it natural resource, be it man-made resource. Don't waste it, all right? Now, importance of EVS at the elementary level. Now, why is EVS important? Why is environmental studies important? So, environmental awareness. Now, EVS is important because we have to spread awareness. We have to educate the students. We have to educate the teachers, the principals, the headmasters, the headmistresses, the village people, the city people, the politicians. Everybody should be made aware of their duties and responsibilities towards the environment. Critical thinking. Now, studying EVS helps us to think critically about the future of our Earth. How are we going to protect the Earth? How are we going to solve the problems which exist, like deforestation, or, you know, industrialization, urbanization, air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution? So how are we going to fight this? Empowerment. Once we understand how to protect our environment and what can we do as students to protect our environment, then we are empowered, which means we know our responsibilities, we know our duties, we know how to conserve water, how to conserve air, how to conserve soil, how to conserve the plastics or the waste materials, right? Then active participation. So studying environmental studies help the student or the community leaders or the villagers to take active participation in, be it Swachh Bharat, be it cleaning drive, be it protecting the forest, be it cleaning the water bodies, right? Whatever it is. Global citizenship. Now, global citizenship. EVs contribute to the development responsible global citizenship who understand the interconnectedness of the world. Now you see, as I told you, that if one family member is hurt, everybody is hurt. If one family member is happy, everybody is happy. Yes or no? It is interconnected. So likewise, our earth, our world is interconnected, right? We are in Asia, and there is another continent, Africa, then we have America, so Russia. So these countries exist, but we are one, we are united. Yes or no? We are all united together because we all exist on earth. So if the water level is rising, or if the ice of the North Pole and South Pole are melting, then it will affect America, it will affect Nepal, it will affect India, it will affect England, so it will affect everybody. Yes or no? So that's why it is interconnected. So everybody should have the knowledge about how to protect the environment, all right? And we also know that having the environmental knowledge can help us to conserve the environment, can help us to mitigate the deforestation or inhuman activities or activities which harms the environment. And how can we make use of we can make use of the natural and man-made resources judiciously. So all these things can be taken into account when we are educated about the nature, scope, and importance of the environment, right? So I think this is on this video. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you.